Hi, I'm Jackie with PEERtrainer, and the reason I'm making this video is because I have a question for you. It's something new we've been working on at PEERtrainer, and here it is. What is your portion distortion profile? Everybody talks about portion control, but what we've actually started to see after 5 years is portion distortion. And it kind of you fall into one of these categories of 4 different people. And here's the first one of portion distortion. The first one is you distort what an actual portion size is because you just never knew. It's not like you had been doing this for your whole life. When you were younger, you were able to eat anything you want, and you just kind of didn't know. You didn't really pay attention. You never maybe looked at a calorie counter. You never looked at one of those nutrition facts. So maybe you distort portions just because you never knew. The second profile we see of people that fall under this portion distortion is life changes. This happened to me. Before I was pregnant, I always kind of knew, a piece of chicken was about the size of my palm, and I kind of knew that 2 tablespoons was really enough dressing, not one of those big ladle things that they did. But when I was pregnant, I ate as much as I wanted because I just knew for a fact that I was going to lose all the weight once I started breastfeeding. What a myth, what a joke. And by the way, if that's you and you're having trouble losing weight breastfeeding, 90% of people do. You just didn't have the genes that do that. So after I had been eating huge coffee cakes and all these things because I just thought it was all going to come off, and after I tried to lose weight, after I delivered the baby, I had no idea what a portion size was anymore. In fact, I thought, well, I used to have the whole coffee cake, so now I'm just going to have this big of a piece of the coffee cake, and it's all relative. It's not this big of a piece, so I am within my portion control. The third group that I see that doesn't understand, that falls under this portion distortion, are people that get rid of all the processed foods in their life and they start eating really whole grains, whole food. Listen, I'm the first person to say congratulations. I'm psyched that you are now moving from the partially hydrogenated oils and from high fructose corn syrup to that stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is people move from processed foods to not processed foods, and they have so much trouble losing weight. And if you look at their day, I want you to know that a quarter cup is probably, I'm not joking, about this big. A quarter cup of quinoa, which, don't get me wrong, is great, a whole protein, the whole thing. But a quarter cup is 170 calories. If you look at someone's bowl, they have about six quarter cups in there. And then they say, I don't understand, I've moved from whole foods to processed foods, why am I not losing weight? And if you actually look at their day, even though they're eating this good vegan chocolate and vegan chocolate chip cookies and quinoa, if you measure it against Weight Watchers, they're eating 80 points. And just for those of you who don't understand Weight Watchers, if you actually want to lose weight, you're in somewhere sort of in between that 20 and 30 points. The fourth group of people that I see that are portion distortion, and there's one really quick thing I forgot in that first category, people that do everything relative to their husband. Well, my husband's eating a huge thing of tiramisu and I'm only eating half, so I'm practicing portion control. The fourth category are people that work out at least an hour a day all the time, and they say, I've worked out so I can have 5 chocolate chip cookies. They've sort of now look at their portion in relation to their workouts. They don't look at a portion as what a portion is. It's in relation to, I was so good on my workout today, I ran 15 extra minutes, and that's my cookie. 15 minutes workout, 300 calorie cookie. Really not a good way to gauge what a portion is. So I'm not talking about portion control here as much as I'm talking about what is your portion distortion profile. And when you sort of figure out who you are, you'll start to say, okay, maybe I'm a little guilty of that, or frankly, maybe you're guilty of all 4. I certainly have. And just yesterday when I found out how much quinoa was, I was like, no wonder I always feel so huge after I eat a big bowl, even though it's so good for me. So figure out what your portion distortion profile is, and next time we'll sort of talk about what a portion is, and how to really, once you've understood what your profile is, how to figure out what a real portion size is. Thanks.